Hello, RIM, and this is my TBR for August of 2025. So these are all the books I want to read in August. Now, actually, I am also doing a readathon called the Bara Dynasty Readathon. It sounds incredibly fun, and I'm very excited for it, but I don't have a set TBR for it because it's something that can be very changeable. So I just have my regular stuff that I do every month. So, first of all, I am having a thing where I read a series from my physical library, and I read one every month, which I am actually a little behind. The series I'm reading currently is Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I was supposed to finish Shopaholic to the Rescue in July, but as you can see, I didn't. I am 132 pages through this, and this is 312 pages. So nearly halfway through, right? Yeah, and I definitely plan to finish this tomorrow. So that's that. But the next one in the series that I also want to finish in August, this is like my August book, which also happens to be the last one in the series, unless Sophie Kinsella plans to put out any more books, because technically the series, she finished it like before 2010, maybe like 2009, 2008, and she put out two more like 2014, 2015, and then this one, Christmas Shopaholic, came out in 2019. So the Shopaholic series is about this woman, Becky, who just kind of follows her life. So the first book, so she loves shopping, and the first book is all about her addiction to shopping and also her romance, but it's a silly little realistic fiction series, and by the time you get to this book, she still loves shopping, but it's really all about her character development. This book by now is all about her character development and her becoming a better person and a better mother, and they're all about that, but this one especially is so. One of the things I really love about the series, because I can't tell you really what's happening in this book because it would be massive spoilers, is the way that Sophie Kinsella, the author, writes the relationships between characters. Like, the way she writes relationships between characters, so good. Like, even though it's just a silly little series, I think that's why I continue reading it. Because, like, generally the series would not catch my eye. Christmas Shopaholic, I don't really know what it's about, but, you know, it doesn't even have a summary in the back, but, you know, I love this series. I'm probably gonna love this. And it's got candy cane sprayed edges. Okay. Besides that, I also was reading the Magic Trio series and reading one every month. I finished the Magic Trio series. In July, I finished the whole Magic Trio series. I am totally up to date on both the Merlin Mission sub-series and the main Magic Trio series. That's because the latest book came out in July, the 1st of July, and I read it like the day it came out. So I decided to move to another short series, and that is the Avatar: The Last Airbender comics. I don't know if they're all written by the same person, but I'm planning to read. I'm very excited about finishing the Magic Trio series. Like, it's good. It's also sad, but I know there are still going to be books coming out, so, probably there's still going to be books coming out. But anyways, the Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you don't know, it is a TV show, an animated TV show about this world where you have these four broad nations, very, very broad, and they each have a type of magic based on the four elements. So water, earth, air, fire. And there's this one guy, the Avatar, and their job is and they can master all four elements, have the magic of all four elements, and their job is to bring harmony and make sure everything's okay. And 100 years before the story starts, the Fire Nation, when the Avatar was still unknown because they reincarnate, and so the Avatar was still unknown who is going to be this reincarnation, the Fire Nation decides that this is the time when they're going to, like, take over the world. And then the Avatar never reincarnates. And when the story starts, our main character, Katara, finds the Avatar who was, like, frozen in an iceberg, and it turns out that he's, like, anyways, basically, they have to keep him in hiding because he hasn't mastered all 4 elements yet, so he can't defeat the Fire Nation yet. But they also have to travel all throughout the world in order to master the 4 elements, because Katara is from the Water Nation, except that in her part of the Water Nation, she hasn't really had the chance to learn much water bending, which is what they call the magic bending. So basically they have to travel all around this world, and it's an incredibly good series. So it became very popular, and they put out lots of tie-ins. So this, and one of the times that they put in was like this whole comic series. I believe that they're like, it's a comic series with series inside it. So like this series is the first of all the comic series, and then the next comic series will follow this one. But I don't know if they're all written by the same person. This comic series is called The Promise by Jin Nguyen Yang. I'm going to look up how to say that in a second. And it has 3 parts, but they're comics, so it's gonna be short. Okay, let's see if I can pronounce it. Jin Nguyen Yang. Okay, so I can't really tell you much actually about the comic itself without spoiling the show, but basically Aang, who is the Avatar, after the show is over, he travels to a Fire Nation colony, but that's in the heart of the Earth Nation, and when there are tensions, obviously, between neighbors for understandable reasons, and that, and him trying to fix it, makes some stuff, can hurt his relationships with his friends. So it sounds interesting. I'm a bit nervous because I didn't, like, this isn't by the writers of Avatar, and although it is, like, they did approve it and everything, and I didn't like Korra, which is the show that follows Avatar when Aang is already an adult, so we'll see. Okay, then the thing I do also is I have like 2 challenges I do for myself. One is the Buzzwordathon by Books and Lala, where you have 2 prompts. One is to find something on the title and on the cover, and one is to find a certain word or a word in a category in the title. And okay, and the other thing I do is part of a readathon that the main readathon takes place in April and September, but then you get to like go on an adventure, have your characters go on an adventure, and there's a prompt for each month. I have 2 characters, I have 2 prompts, so my prompts for this month are a book with the word light in this title, and the other one is read a book that has been in your TBR for at least a few years. So for read a book that's been in TBR for at least a few years, anything could fill in for that. So whatever, because all of the books I've said so far and all the books I'm going to say have been in my TBR for at least a few years. But for read a book with the word light in the title, I am planning to read Turning Darkness into Light by Marie Brennan. This is a follow-up book to the Memoirs of Lady Trent series, which I loved. I finished it in July, and it was amazing. That series follows a woman who wants to become a dragon naturalist in the early, like the 1820s, and it is so good. It's just so good. Obviously, it's a slightly different world. She goes all around this world on various adventures, and I loved it so much. It's so great. So this book is following her granddaughter, who discovers there is this ancient civilization that becomes very important in the books. Then they were, and they're called the Draconic Civilization because they like worship dragons. And basically, I think the granddaughter who just discovers something very important about the linguistics, something. And I don't know, I love the Memoirs of Lady Trent. I am excited to read this. Okay, then the Buzzwordathon, the prompts were transportation on the cover and the word with in the title. So for the word with in the title, I am planning to read Buzzing with Questions, The Inquisitive Mind of Charles Henry Turner by Janice N. Harrington. This is a picture book about the entomologist Charles Henry Turner. I think it's a picture book like childhood, or maybe it's just a like total biography of him in picture book form. I like entomology. I'm excited. African American entomologist, by the way. And then for Read a Book with Transportation on the cover, I'm planning to read Charlie Hernandez and The League of Shadows by Ryan Callejo, which has bicycles on the cover. We see Charlie and his best friend riding on bicycles on the cover. So that's a form of transportation. Technically, feet is a form of transportation, so. But anyways, this book follows Charlie, who really likes hearing stories about all of these mythical creatures from Iberian and South American folklore from his grandma, but he doesn't believe in them. And then something happens, and he has to start believing in them real quick, and he gets involved in like these two secret societies. Sounds really fun. It's a middle grade. So basically, those are all the books I want to read in August, and yeah, I'm excited for all of them. They all sound really good. Now, you totally messed up. Because what I usually do is start from the books I'm currently reading. And I mentioned Shopaholics to the Rescue, but I do have another book I'm currently reading, which is Angel of the Crows by Catherine Addison. So far, I really enjoyed it. I don't know what percent of the way through I am. That will be in a different vlog. But this isn't a vlog either. But this is kind of a Sherlock Holmes retelling. Like, not kind of. It really is a Sherlock Holmes retelling. But it happens in a different world. It's based on Christian mythology. And so Sherlock is an angel, John Watson is still a doctor, and they solve lots of the mysteries in Sherlock Holmes. This is my giant Sherlock Holmes book with all the Sherlock Holmes stories in it and novellas. So she chooses some of the stories and they solve them, but it's different because of the world that they're in, and it's all in one book, but it flows really nicely. So far, I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, those are all the books I'm hoping to read in August of 2025. Thanks for watching.